Hello friends, welcome back. This is Mehjabin. Today I'm going to explain Edgar Allan Poe's poem Annabel Lee. This poem was published shortly after the demise of the American poet. It is considered to be the last complete poem that Poe had composed, and it explores the themes of death, love, and obsessive attachment. In this poem, the narrator talks about his love for a young girl whose name was Annabel Lee. The love was cut short by a tragedy. The main character of this poem, Annabel Lee, appears to be symbolic of Poe's young wife, Virginia Poe, whom the poet had lost when she was still very young. So this is how the poem starts. It was many years ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. So the narrator says that many years ago, in a kingdom beside the sea, lived a maiden, a young girl, whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And the name of this young girl was Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought. That means the only dream, the only purpose of this maiden was, and this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. The only purpose, the only dream of this girl was to love me and for me to love her back in return. I was a child and she was a child, and at that time she was a young girl, she was a child, and I was a child as well. In this kingdom by the sea, and in this kingdom we were both children, in this kingdom beside the sea, and we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee. And Annabel and I loved each other more than any other human being could love each other. Our bonding was a very powerful one. With a love that the winged seraphs, that means the angels of heaven, coveted her and me. This was the kind of love that the angels wanted in the heavens, but they never got. And that is why they desired this love and the affection that I shared with Annabel. It attracted the attention of even the angels, because they seem to be focused on this love. They seem to be envious of this love that I shared with Annabel. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, and this was exactly the reason, the jealousy of the angels was the reason why something unpleasant, why something tragic happened to us. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud. A wind dropped from the cloud. It blew out of a cloud. And this wind had devastating effects, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee. And Annabel Lee, she met with a serious kind of illness because of the effect of this wind. So that her highborn kinsmen, that means her highborn relatives, her relatives who belong to the noble family, so that her highborn kinsmen came and bore her away from me. When she died, they carried her away from me to shut her up in a sepulchre, that means in a tomb. They shut her up, they buried her in a tomb in this kingdom by the sea, and they left her buried in a tomb in this very kingdom next to the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. And the angels in heaven, they never seemed to be happy with the life that they were having in heaven, and they were jealous of us. They were jealous of Annabel, they were jealous of me, and this is the reason why the angels sent the wind, and the coldness of the wind left Annabel with a serious kind of illness, and she did not survive. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. So the reason why the wind came out of the cloud by the night was the envy of the angels. The angels created this entire situation. So he says that yes, that was the reason, as all men know and everybody knows the reason why Annabel had to die. Jealousy was the reason why Annabel had to die in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling. That means it created a kind of coldness in her body. It numbed her body and the soul left her body, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we. Now the poet says that although we were children when we first fell in love with each other, and although we were far younger than the other people who seemed to be in love with each other, but still, despite our youth, our love was stronger. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And our love was stronger. It was of a more superior quality than the love of people who appeared to be wiser than us. And neither the angels in heaven nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul. That means can ever separate my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. That means although Annabel is dead and gone from this world, but we are still inseparable. We cannot be separated. Our souls are forever united. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams. Then he says the reason is that whenever the moon is shining high up in the sky, I begin my dreams. I start seeing dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and I think of Annabel in the light when it is in the light of the moon. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes. And when I see the stars twinkling in the sky, and when I see the moon, this is the time when I think about Annabel the most. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And when I see the stars, I remember the bright eyes of Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide and during the duration of the night, I lie by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. So he says that for the whole night I lie by the side of Annabel's tomb, and I pass my night there because I feel that she is still alive, and she comes out, she mingles with the environment of the night, especially when the moon is up high up in the sky and when the stars are also visible. That is the time when I remember Annabel, and I visit her tomb and spend my time and spend the whole night by lying down beside the tomb. That is my story. It is a kind of story that is going to continue forever and ever. And this is how the poet is recollecting his long lost love, and he feels that she will never die in his soul. Well, that's all for today. I will be uploading the summary of this poem very soon. Until then, bye.